say praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
We're still in the midst of a great time. My task is easy because of the fact that I know that any time that I introduce or present a preacher, first and main thing is that I know they say, well, how I know? You see, you'll know a tree by the fruit that it bears. You don't have to ask a person or be around a person. You can just ask them one question and it'll tell you every other thing you need to know about it. But our speaker was born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and he relocated to Jackson, became a member of New Hope Baptist Church, served in many areas. Reverend Stafford accepted the call to Christ in the ministry in January of 2001, was licensed to preach the gospel in February 2003. At New Hope Baptist Church in Jackson, Mississippi, under the leadership of Dr. Jerry Young, his spiritual father. Reverend Stafford is a pastor of Pleasant Green Baptist Church. Receive our speaker. Receive our director of the Young People's Department of General Missionary Baptist State Convention of Mississippi and National Convention, USA, Reverend Jefferey A. Stafford.
Amen.
Praise the Lord, everybody.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. I just need to know, are there any grateful people in the house tonight? Look, there's a lot of places you could have been, and some of them already went there, but you still here. It must be blessing you. Are there some grateful people in the house tonight? Hallelujah. Listen, I drove up here from Jackson, and I promise you, it was worth the ride just to hear Mario's testimony. Listen, if we don't get this thing figured out right, we're going to lose a generation that knows not God, nor the God that they had before them. I am thankful to be here. Listen, your theme is Jesus is the answer. And you decided for some strange reason or another to use Proverbs chapter 3. I know why you did it, but that ain't why you did it. And so I'm gonna be shorter than Mario. Let me help you how to understand. If Jesus is the answer, thank God for all of these pastors and preachers back here. Amen. Thank God for they labor abundantly. They do a lot of work. They make it possible for a lot of things to happen in this city and in this county and in this community that I promise you wouldn't happen if they went on the end of the line. So you ought to give it up for them. I don't know which one belongs to you, but just give it to them back. Thank God for them. And I knew I was in for something when I walked in here. The first thing I saw was a fan on top of a piano. Whenever you see a fan on top of a piano, you know something about to jump off somewhere. And I'm already more than a minute and two far gone. Listen, thank God for Pastor Leland. He has done a wonderful job being the moderator here. President of our country, he is doing a one lesson. We are moving this thing forward and forward. And listen, now people elevate me all the time and put me in places that I don't belong. The brother introduced me, said I'm on the this and the that and the that and the this. Look, I'm just Jefforey. My mama still called me Jefforey. She don't say pastor this, reverend this, doctor that. She Jefforey, come here. I get to do whatever mommy say do because mommy is always gonna be mommy. I don't care what the rest of the world say. If don't nobody else ever love me, mommy gonna love me. If Jesus is the answer, the very first puzzling part that presented in my mind is what is the question?
Come on, all right now, all right.
If Jesus must somehow be the answer to the question in my that's burning in my bosom, that's down in my spirit, that has to leap out into my life and make its way in a ascendancy as I try to press my way through the problems, pains, and pressures that I deal with every single day, what does the question have to be?
All right.
And I am of the understanding that somehow Solomon raised some interesting questions before he ever got to the answer. It was not Solomon's young self, like that he was probably in a game too. It wasn't his young self that figured out how to find the answer to the question. It was as he moved and matriculated through his life to find the place where he could get to the place where his mind was mature enough to understand there are some answers that I need to some questions that I have, that there ain't but one place I can find. I don't care where you want to go. I don't care who you want to turn to. You can go to your teacher. You can go to your pastor. You can go to your mama. You can go to your daddy. You can go to everybody else you know in the world. But there's some answers to some questions that only God can answer for you. Mama and daddy can help you find your way there. The pastor can help show you what's going on. The psychologists and the educational directors, they can train you in how to discover what you need to discover. But if you really get down to the real heart of the matter, only Jesus can tell you some of the stuff that you need to know. But Jesus don't sit you down in no classroom with no pencil and paper. He said, boy, come on, walk through this thing called life. Let me help you on your way so you can get what you need to get and go where you need to go and end up giving me glory, which you ain't know you were going to give me in the first place. Look, I came to tell you, I'm almost finished. I got about 7 more minutes. You can get with us. I ain't got that last 5 minutes that these brothers got. I don't do all that. I just bring what I bring. I come what I do, and I do. When I get what I do, I'm gone. Here it is, number one. If you are going to find your way through this thing called life, if you're going to hope for heaven while hanging with hell, you are going to have to figure out what are the most important questions of your life that you need to figure out. And Solomon asked the question, what is my responsibility in life? Yes, he did. He asked the question. If you read those Proverbs, you will discover that Solomon was asking a question, who am I responsible to? What am I responsible for? And why is it my responsibility to do it that way?
All right.
Here's the answer. Here's number one, if you are going to figure out how to hope for heaven and hanging through hell, you have got to understand that there are some rules that you are going to have to find. Now, don't misunderstand what I said. I didn't say some rules you got to follow. I said some rules you got to find. See, there's a search in life from every person's perspective and every person's heart that they are trying to find their way through this thing called life. And you can't find your way through life without first finding the rule for that thing in your life. See, you've been taught to follow rules all your life. You know what rules are. You've been inundated with rules everywhere you go. At home, I got rules. At school, I got rules. At church, I got rules. My Lord, the place I'm supposed to be liberated, I got some rules I got to follow when I get in here. But what is it I'm trying to find my way to? See, the brother told you he was a vice lord. Now, what he didn't tell you that they got some rules.
All right.
And see, one of the rules is that there's a certain hierarchy that goes with this thing. And there's a level that I need to learn that when I first come in, there's some stuff I don't know. See, some of these pastors and preachers been around here for a long time. Some of these ladies been walking around here, walking with the Lord for 80-some years, but they ain't found some of the rules. That's why they still having some of the problems they still having. See, they've been following the rule, but they ain't quite found the rule that needs to address the thing that they need to address. Solomon says in the proverb, look, my son, do not forget my law. And do not do away with my command. If I'm going to find the rules, the first thing I need to understand is, where do I find them? Solomon gives me the answer. You find it right there at that place where I told you what you needed to know before you ever got down there in the first place. Look, let me ask you like this here. Have you all ever had your mama or your daddy or somebody say to you, look, don't eat that big piece of chicken, that's for your daddy? See, that's a law in some folk house. That ain't just, that's a law, and you don't have to go far to find that one. Touch that big piece of chicken, you gonna find the road. See, I know young folk, y'all don't know nothing about this, but here was a law that I learned, that I found in life that was gonna help me deal with everything in my life. Don't let that street light come on before you get home. See, I had to go find that law. That ain't written down nowhere. Don't nobody write that stuff down. But let me walk in that door after that street light come on. I'm going to find the rule that's going to help me to understand the questions I got in my book. Because when I finally wake up, I'll understand. Mama was trying to tell me, boy, you need to be home at a decent hour. Mama and daddy was trying to help me understand. Now, grandmama put it a little different. But mama and daddy were trying to help me understand that darkness is a deceiver. Now, grandmama used to just say, boy, ain't nothing open at night but legs. That's a little different rule right there. It's the same principle, but it's a different rule. So there were some rules you have to find. You got to go find them. And the place where I found all of those rules was right there in the Word of God. The Word of God taught me that darkness is a deceiver. The same thing my mama said when she said, boy, don't let that street light come on before you get home. Jesus himself said, look, daylight is the time when man ought to be out and working. Nighttime comes when no man can work. No man can do anything. So look, I came to tell you, do your work while it's day, because when nighttime comes, ain't nothing open. That's a little Jesus and grandmama in there at the same time. But both of them work. If you learn to listen to grandma, and I know grandmama's getting younger and younger. But number one, if you're going to hope for heaven and get your way through hell, there's some rules you got to find. Number two, I'm about to go, y'all. It's been good seeing y'all again. I'll see y'all in about 2 weeks down at the state convention. Number two, not only are there some rules you need to find, there is a reputation you need to forge. Solomon says in Proverbs chapter 3, he said, watch this now, do not forsake mercy and truth, for they will help you find favor in life. What Solomon is really trying to help us to understand is that there's a reputation that I have to have, and I have to fashion it so that everybody who sees me knows that I walk in integrity. See, I can't come to church one day and be holier than thou and leave church on Sunday afternoon, get down to the eating spot, and then cuss the waiter out. Because my chicken wasn't quite the way I wanted. My greens wasn't done like I am. I wanted that fat back peeking in there. They ain't put it in there. So she gonna have a problem with me today. Oh, y'all know how y'all do it. Y'all still working on y'all reputation. Yes, you will. Because some of y'all were down there this evening. Right before y'all got over here, y'all went to eat somewhere, and I heard one of y'all cuss somebody out. There's a reputation that you got to forge. Mercy and truth ought to go with you everywhere you go. And mercy needs to go with you because you know you done messed up somewhere, Wilson. Every one of us sitting up here ought to be the first person at the mercy table. Y'all heard the young man giving his testimony, saying that 2 years after I got into ministry, I had a baby. I saw you fail. I saw you start pointing your finger. I saw your mind start working. What in the world he gonna tell that? Don't keep that quiet, boy. And look, tell the truth and shame the devil. Look, you done already messed up. The Lord know what you need. You might as well tell the world that you needed grace, mercy, and forgiveness, because all our stuff is perfect. Stop living your life like it's a lie. He ain't lying to nobody but you, because everybody on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram already know. They done dipped into your DMs and everything slid around there too. You already know who done called you. No point you living that lie no more. Let your reputation talk. Quit worrying about what the rest of the world says about you. God has shown you mercy. And he showed you mercy before you ever knew you needed mercy. When you thought you were going to get away with it, mercy was already working on your behalf. When you were dipping around that corner, thought didn't nobody see you, the Lord knew you were going around there and put an obstacle in your way to keep you from getting there. Only reason some of these old folk up in here can tell you that the good Lord, I'm thankful for his grace and his mercy. They really thanking for mercy because they done messed up some stuff in their young life. They ain't gonna tell you about it, but keep opening that little picture book that they keep showing you. You gonna find somebody in there. The grandmother ain't gonna be able to explain why they in the book. But at the funeral, they gonna show up. Mercy done hands you something. I'm just telling y'all. You need mercy because truth is hard. To tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, is hard. Don't nobody sitting in here want to get under no truth serum tonight. From the youngest to the oldest. Because if God would have put some true spirit in him, we'd all need nothing but mercy, 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 mercy. You walk out the door. Your reputation is on the line. But it ain't just your reputation. The Lord's reputation is on the line. When I was a boy, about 10, 11, 12 years old, my daddy used to say to me every morning, he said, boy, right before you leave the door, I want you to remember this right here. You represent Jesse and Jesus. I don't care where you go, what you do. I've tried to tell you everything that I could tell you. I've tried to explain to you everything. You represent Jesse and you represent Jesus. Now, I have done all I can do. So if you go out there and mess up, Jesus will forgive you. But Jesse is going to get you. I understood early that my reputation was important because my reputation wasn't just about me. It was about somebody that gave me life and gave them 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 life and gave all of us life. If you're hoping for heaven, are you still trying to hang through hell? Searching for the answers to the questions of your life.
Well, come on with it now.
There are some rules that you have to go find.
Yeah, all right.
And they're found in the Word of God. There's a reputation that you have to foster and forge because you represent somebody. Solomon says you wear them like chains across your neck, and you wear them as titles upon your breast. Now that don't mean go get no tattoos and gold chains and put them on. That simply means let your talk and your walk and your word match. Everything you are, the integrity that's in your heart is what comes out of your mouth. If you cussing at school, you got cussing in your spirit.
All right.
Don't go to church and don't cuss. You've been cussing all day at school. You might as well cuss here too. But at the Lord's house, the Lord owns everything. And you know what? I ain't really talking to y'all. Because see, y'all already know that. They act like they don't know. They get to work and somebody mess with them, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Well, a piece of your mind is the wrong piece to give them. Why don't you give them a piece of heaven? And let them see that you're bigger and better than what you used to be. I told y'all y'all might have laughed 5 minutes.
All right.
There it is. A respect that you need to fashion. Respect that you need to fashion. You all know the verse, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not lean back. Lean not on your own understanding. In all. You mean when they piss me off? In all. You mean when they talking about you? In all. When they bully me? In all. When they talk about my mama and my dad? In all. When they telling me they don't know who my daddy is? In all. When the teacher is boring? In all. When the administrator tripping? In all. Your way. Y'all run around here talking about put some speck on my name. Put some on his. Everything you do makes a choice and gives an answer to this question. Do you respect the man? Every word that comes out of your mouth, whether it's the pastor, the preacher, or the pew member, makes a determination of whether or not you actually respect and represent who you say you represent. When you leave out of these doors tonight, you gonna meet hell out there.
All right.
Some of you done met him in him. But you gonna meet it out there. And the question that you have to be able to answer is, do I respect God enough to not do this my way?
All right.
Because all of us want to be gangsters. All of us want to be players, pimps, and pushers.
All right now. Say it.
Some of us want to be house, some. The housewives of Atlanta. I ain't gonna tell you what some other folk in my house call them. They call them the household, but
Don't tell her that.
the truth is, when we look at life, all of us want to be the bad guy, the bad girl, because it looks like the good guys and the good girls don't have no fun. That's what it looks like. And you know why it look like that? Because the good guys and the good girls keep telling the bad guys and the bad girls that ain't nothing good about the good guys and the good girls. The church folk keep telling the other folk that ain't nothing good in their life. Oh, I ain't finna holler. I ain't finna hoop. I'm through. If you waiting for me to pull it, you call the wrong person. If you waiting for me to hoop and to holler, I don't come do that. I bring a hammer to bust some hell out of you. Because if you don't stop selling Christianity as if it's something to run from and something to run to, that your whole life done been better because you met Jesus. Not that your life been burdened because you met him, but your life been better. And no, I don't mean you got a new job. I don't mean you got a raise. I don't mean you got a promotion. But in my dark days, I know that there's somebody that's listening to me. In my hard time, I know there's some help from me. In my problems, in my pain, in all of the stuff I have to deal with, I know there's a person I can run to when my way get hard, when my life get dark, and everything around me look like I ain't got no help around here. I know a man who told me everything about me. Look, y'all think that woman at the well, do y'all really think that that woman at the well left home that morning under the disguise of the hotness of the day, because all of the good girls was already gone to the well? She had to come at noontime when all of the rest of the good girls was already home cooking. This young heifer was already late. Now she was late because she had 5 husbands and a homeboy at the house. And now one of them belonged to her. Got to the well, and somebody asked her a question. Will you give me some water? Well, now wait a minute. You want some water? You ain't got nothing to draw with. Well, I asked you for some water. I want you to reach down into the well. She says, sir, now listen, it's about you now. You know your kind no food with me, Pastor. Pastor. I ain't one of them good. If I reach over there and get some water, my skirt gonna go up. And you might see my goodness. You might want to get here early and get one of them good Christian girls to get you. The Lord said, daughter, understand how he changed the conversation. Didn't let her understand that he was a man. See, sometimes pastors, instead of saying, woman, you need to say, daughter. See, it changes your conversation. Because when you learn to look at her like a daughter instead of like a woman, something in you gonna change too. But part of the problem we have is too many pastors ministering to women and not daughters. Now the word minister means serve. And you serve a woman a whole lot different than you serve your daughter. Y'all will catch that when you get home. But Jesus said, if you knew who you were talking to, you'd ask me something, and I could give you something that would change your life. And conversation goes on. Look, y'all don't go. That woman, she ain't never drawn no water, but her soul got quenched. Her thirst got quenched. Her whole life changed. And she ran back and told all them good girls, come meet a man. Now all y'all got a man, but come meet a real man. Now the rest of y'all good girls, y'all got a man. He a piece of a man. He's something of a man. He alright as a man. But come see a man. Now y'all know Jesus knew that woman had 5 husbands. And y'all knew the man she was living with then wasn't her. that woman went and found her some rules. And rule number one she found was, make sure the man I choose is the right man. See, I've been choosing all these men to meet these physical needs. I ain't never chose a man to meet my spiritual needs. She found a rule. She had to forge a new reputation. Because if Jesus knew, guess what? Everybody in the community knew. And that's why they stayed away from her. And she stayed away from them. But when she told him to come see a man and told her everything she knew, they ain't worried about what her reputation was no more. They wanted a real man. Brothers, women are waiting on some real men. Some ones who can dip down into the water and draw something that can quench their thirst. And y'all heard Mario, it ain't but a minute. 2, 3 at the moment. Some of y'all going around bragging about all night long. Baby, that woman done told you a long time if she told you the truth. And she discovered a new level of respect that was now fashionable for her. Let me just tell you. If you've been hoping that heaven is your home, and you've had to handle hell all your life, Jesus has an answer for you. But you got to know the right question to ask. And once you find that question, you can rejoice forevermore. Y'all have a good night.